Hey there, my friend. You know what time it is. Cowboys football is officially back, and even though it's just the beginning of off-season team activities, something already feels different in the air. That buzz, you feel it too, don't you? Today marks the return of the squad, and right off the bat, some key names showed up at the Star. Of course, Dak Prescott was there. You'd expect nothing less from the quarterback. But guess who else showed up early, like really early? Micah Parsons. Yeah, the same Micah who's in the middle of a contract dispute. We'll get to that in a bit, but for now, let's just soak in the fact that the energy around this team is shifting. This also happens to be the very first time Brian Schottenheimer gets to stand in front of the entire team as head coach during an official Cowboys football function. Not a charity event, not some press gig, but the real deal. Inside the facility, with the team, and that matters a lot. These are the moments where leadership is tested and team chemistry begins to form. You can almost picture the scene, the coaches, the vets, the young bloods, everyone under one roof, getting ready to chase something big. And here's what I want to know from you. Who do you think will emerge as the biggest leader of this Cowboys squad in 2025? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be checking them out. Could it still be Dak? Is Micah stepping up? Or is someone else about to surprise us? And hey, if you're hyped like I am for the season to start, show some love. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Your support helps us get one step closer to our goal of 13,000 subscribers. Seriously, it means the world to us. Let's dive deeper. Because what's going on behind the scenes with Micah Parsons might just be the biggest storyline of this offseason. All right, now let's talk about what's really got everyone buzzing. Micah Parsons and this contract situation. Look, it's no secret anymore. Micah wants to get paid. And not just paid. We're talking about potentially becoming the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. That's the bar his agent, David Mulugeta, is aiming for. And Micah's on board. Even though he's gone on record saying, I don't need to be the highest paid defender ever. Let's be real. If you know who his agent is, and you know the kind of deals he's gotten for his other clients, then yeah, it's clear what the goal is. But here's the twist, no, unexpected. Instead of holding out or sending messages through social media, Micah showed up. Early, no drama, no demands blasted in public, just presence. Just action. That's not something we usually see when a star player is trying to leverage a contract. It's bold in a different way. You'd think a guy in his position would be sitting back, waiting for Jerry and Stephen Jones to come with the bag. But Micah? He's doing the opposite. He's walking into that building, leading workouts, standing next to Dak, and putting in work like someone who already got his money. Let's not forget, this is the same player who not long ago was going back and forth with DeMarcus Lawrence in the public eye. That was messy. That was raw. That was, well, not leadership. And that's exactly what makes his approach now so fascinating. So I've got a question for you. And be honest, would you pay Micah Parsons what he's asking? Or do you think the Cowboys front office is right to wait it out? Drop your take. In the comments, I really want to hear your side of this. And hey, if you're enjoying this breakdown and want more inside talk about contract negotiations, cap space, and what's really happening behind closed doors, do me a favor, hit that like button so we know you're into this kind of content. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every subscription brings us closer to that 13,000 fan milestone. Now hold on, because Micah's presence is one thing. But what he's doing while he's there? That's something that's catching everyone off guard. Here's where things get really interesting, my friend. You know how every offseason there are certain patterns you come to expect from players? With Micah Parsons, the usual script goes like this: podcast appearances, personal training sessions away from the facility, maybe a few viral videos from workouts across the country. He stays busy, but not necessarily with the team. And a lot of fans, maybe even you, have side-eyed that behavior and wondered, Is this guy all in? Well, not this time. Instead of going on another solo grind or staying distant while his agent works the deal, Micah flipped the script. He showed up early to the Cowboys' voluntary workouts. Not just showed up. He was one of the first guys through the door, right behind Dak Prescott and Israel Mukuamu, in a contract year, in the middle of negotiations. Let that sink in. Micah's actions are screaming something that words couldn't. This is my team now. He's not just talking about leadership anymore. He's showing it. And in a locker room like Dallas, where star power is everywhere but long-term leadership has been a little shaky, that means something. That means everything. What's wild is that Micah isn't even doing this for PR. There was no announcement, no camera crew, just quiet commitment. He's putting in the work where it counts, inside the building with the squad. And let's be real, he didn't have to do this. You know how it goes. Most players in contract talk stay away until the ink is dry. It's common. But Micah chose a different path. He chose to say, pay or no pay, I'm here to lead. That's grown man stuff. That's rare. So now I've got to ask you, were you expecting this from Micah? Because I'll admit it, I wasn't. If you're surprised too, drop a comment below and just type Lion Leader so I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. And hey, if you've got a friend who's always saying Micah's too, focused on his brand or his podcast life, send them this video. Let's show him the guy is focused, locked in, and ready to take over. And before we roll into the next chapter, don't forget, if you're enjoying this kind of deep dive into the real story behind the headlines, subscribe to Cowboys News TV and hit that notification bell. Every time you do, you're helping us build a stronger community and reach our goal of 13,000 fans. We can't do it without you. Coming up next, how this new Micah Parsons is already starting to shape the entire Cowboys defense, and why that might be the key to the team's future success. Now let's talk about something that often goes unnoticed, but makes all the difference: influence. When a star like Micah Parsons steps up and changes his approach, it doesn't just affect his own narrative. It sends shockwaves through the entire locker room. And this offseason, that ripple effect has already started showing up in a big way, especially among the defensive unit. Take Osa Odigizua, for example. He's been one of the most consistent and underrated contributors on the D-line. But now, with Micah setting the tone by being present early and attacking workouts with intensity, Osa's energy has visibly picked up. Word is he's been more vocal, more assertive, matching the vibe. Same with Darren Bland. Last year's breakout corner is no longer just riding momentum. He's acting like someone who expects greatness, not just hopes for it. And that kind of mindset shift? That's contagious. But it needs a spark. Micah might just be that spark. Then there's Trevon Diggs, recovering from injury, working his way back, but still showing up and engaging with teammates. And don't think for a second that seeing Micah take ownership hasn't pushed guys like Diggs to do the same, even when they're not 100%. The truth is, there's something powerful about leadership through action. Any player can give a speech. But when someone as visible and as valuable as Micah leads, by showing up early, putting in the reps, and making zero excuses, it hits differently. And if you look closely, you'll see this defense starting to form its identity around that. Hungry, focused, no nonsense, maybe even elite. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Micah Parsons is becoming the new face of this Cowboys defense for the long haul? Vote in the comments right now. Micah is the future of the defense, or still needs to prove it. And if you're loving this kind of breakdown, take a second to subscribe to Cowboys News TV. We're already a community of over 12,000 die-hard fans, and with your help, we're pushing to 13,000. Let's grow this family together. Hit that button and ring the bell. Next, we close it out with a big-picture look at why this might be the start of something huge in Dallas. So here we are, at the edge of something that might just be the beginning of a new chapter. Not just for Micah Parsons, but for the entire Dallas Cowboys organization. Think about it. Micah is in the middle of a high-stakes contract situation. He could have chosen to sit out. He could have made a public statement or even stirred drama. But instead, he showed up early. He walked into the building with focus in his eyes and leadership on his shoulders. That's not just maturity. It's vision. Micah's telling everyone without saying a word, "This is my defense now." And whether or not the ink is dry on a new deal, the impact is already happening. Teammates are watching. Coaches are watching. And most importantly, so is the fan base. We've seen stars in Dallas before. Talent has never been the issue, but sustained leadership. Guys who don't just talk but elevate the standard, that's what separates legends from flashes in the pan. Micah is stepping into that space. And honestly, that's the kind of shift that changes everything. The kind of shift that takes a team from maybe to contender. So I gotta ask you directly, my friend. Do you feel it too? Does this feel like the moment the tide starts to turn for the Cowboys? Drop a comment below right now with "This is the year" if you believe we're on the brink of something special. And hey, if you've been vibing with this video and the journey we've taken together, don't leave without hitting subscribe and turning on that notification bell. You've got no idea how much it helps us grow. We're chasing that 13,000 mark, and with you on board, we'll get there faster than a Micah Parsons sack on third down. Thanks for riding with me. Let's get it. This season, this team, this moment. Cowboys News TV is just getting started.